Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we're doing something a little different. We're going to be taking a deep dive into some Algebra 2 basics, specifically rational expressions and functions.
Yeah.
I know maybe algebra isn't everyone's favorite thing,
Right.
but it's actually a really powerful way of thinking and problem solving. And,
Absolutely.
today we're going to be looking at our notes
Yeah.
on rational expressions and functions, and we'll uncover just how practical these concepts can be.
I think that's what's really fascinating here is that we're essentially taking the world of fractions
Right.
and applying it to algebraic expressions.
Okay.
It's like fractions, but with a little bit more complexity.
Yeah, fractions on steroids.
Fractions on steroids, exactly.
So before we get into the specifics of the notes,
Yeah.
can you give us a clear definition of what exactly a rational expression I is?
Yeah, absolutely. So a rational expression is a fraction
Okay,
where the numerator and the denominator are polynomials.
got it.
So you're looking at a ratio essentially between two algebraic expressions.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So looking at the notes here, these notes, they cover a few key areas.
Yeah.
Simplifying rational expressions, multiplying and dividing them, adding and subtracting them, and then solving equations with them.
Exactly.
So it sounds like we've got all the operations covered.
We do, and the beauty is
Yeah.
the rules of fractions still apply.
Okay.
We're talking about common denominators, we're
Okay.
talking about factoring,
Right.
we're talking about simplifying.
Yeah.
All those are tools that we're going to be using with rational expressions as well.
So it's not like we're totally reinventing the wheel here with fractions, but we're building on those concepts.
Exactly, building upon what we already know.
Okay, so are there ever times when the rules of fractions don't apply to rational expressions?
That's a great question. Or is it pretty much the same?
For the most part, they do.
Okay.
But there is one crucial difference.
Okay.
With rational expressions, we have to be very mindful.
Of any values that would make the denominator 0?
Right, because you can't divide by 0.
Because division by 0 is undefined.
Right.
So we have to exclude those values from the domain of our expression.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you mentioned simplifying.
Yes.
Can you give me a real-world example
Sure.
of how simplifying a rational expression might actually play out in real life?
Imagine you're trying to figure out the best deal on a bulk purchase.
Okay.
Let's say you're buying snacks for a party,
Okay, I like where this is going.
and you've got, a bag of chips with a certain discount
Right.
versus maybe a box of individual snack packs
Okay.
with a different discount.
Gotcha.
You can represent those prices and discounts as rational expressions.
Okay.
And then simplify them down to really see what the cost per snack is
Okay.
to figure out which is the better deal.
So it's like using algebra to be a savvy shopper.
Exactly.
I like that.
That's just one example, though.
Yeah.
Rational expressions can also be used to analyze rates of change, calculate fuel efficiency,
Oh, wow.
or even understand population growth patterns. So
Interesting.
there's a lot of practical applications.
And you mentioned problem solving.
Yeah.
Give me a real-life scenario where solving a rational equation might actually, help me out.
Let's say you're planning a road trip.
Okay, I love road trips.
And you want to figure out how long it'll take you to get to your destination.
Right.
So you know the distance,
Okay.
you know your average speed, but you also need to factor in things like rest stops and maybe traffic.
Right.
You can set up a rational equation to represent that scenario,
Okay.
with the unknown variable being the travel time.
Gotcha.
And by solving that equation, you can estimate the total time required for your trip.
So algebra is helping me avoid those "are we there yet" moments on a road trip.
Exactly.
That's great.
And again, that's just one example.
Right.
The power of rational expressions is that they can be applied
Yeah.
to so many different real-world problems.
That's awesome. So just to recap a little bit,
Sure.
we've covered the core ideas of rational expressions, simplifying them, doing different operations with them, and then solving equations.
Yes.
And we've even seen how they can be applied to things,
Right.
like shopping and planning a road trip.
Exactly. And the key takeaway here
Yeah.
is that the principles of fractions that we've already learned
Right.
are really our guideposts on this journey through algebra.
Okay.
Mastering simplification, understanding those rules of operations,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to unlock a whole new world
Yeah.
of problem-solving possibilities.
And one last thought for you all listening out there. Think about where in your life could you apply these concepts of simplifying, combining, and solving for unknowns?
Right.
Challenge yourself to see algebra not just as a school subject,
Yeah.
but as a versatile mental toolkit that can help you navigate all sorts of everyday challenges.
Absolutely.
That's all for today. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.